Welcome back. Now, generally, when looking at Namibia's weather, winter is usually from June to September. No more precipitation is received, and during the day, temperatures are moderate to warm. The nights become severely cold, and the inland and desert overnight frost occurs. The vegetation changes from green to brown. Now, to give us the weather forecast update this evening is the chief forecaster at the Namibia Met Office, Odillo Kgobetsi. Odillo, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Welcome.
Good evening to you and good evening to the viewers.
Now, Odillo, I think everybody can agree that today is definitely the coldest day of winter thus far. How do the weather patterns look like for the next coming days, Odillo?
Oh yes, that's correct. Temperatures start dropping very slowly, then start going into over the weekend. But this was as a result of a low pressure system that was developing west of land, which is over the Atlantic, bringing in a lot of moisture over the southern part, inland, over the central part, as well as over the eastern parts of the country. What happens is that with that system that is normally breaking through, we normally get a lot of cold air behind it, and that is what happened yesterday and today. That it caused a lot of drop in temperatures over the southern part of Namibia. Frost was reported in places over parts of Aus, where frosts were reported, and also some low-lying areas over the central part. This type of systems, this is quite normal during this time of the year, that is in May going to June, as the onsets of the winter period. So, because of series of cold fronts that were expected then over the sub-region that is coming through over the areas of Cape Town, this should be the trend then, and we should embrace ourselves with this type of cold weather conditions as they are setting in over the sub-region.
Odillo, how long is this cold front going to last with this extreme cold weather conditions?
Yeah, as I just indicated, that is the first touch of the frontal system that has just moved in over the sub-region. It is just moved through now. It's over the parts of South Africa, causing thunder showers and hailstorms and rain over that part. With us, we are towards the end of the tail end of the cold front. We'll experience a lot of coldness. Air mass will remain cold overnight and tomorrow, where we are seeing a small spread of this cold air then as the winds becoming more southeasterlies, pushing then the air further over the central part towards the western areas as well as over the eastern parts of the country, and also some parts of Oshilonjupa region where expecting further drop in temperatures, especially overnight in the early morning. During the course of the day, by tomorrow, we should expect still cold air over the southwestern part as well as over the eastern part. Temperatures will still be below 20 degrees Celsius over the central part. In the south, in places below than 15 degrees, that's for the day. But as we go thereafter, the winds start changing, then the wind regime becoming northeasterly or a northerly flow. And with that type of wind, because it's becoming more continental, we should expect the rise then in temperatures then again for at least 2 days. But again, we are seeing and we are monitoring a system, a frontal system that is on the approach again from the Atlantic. By Saturday, will come through then over the areas of Cape Town and onshore, and we should expect then again temperatures to drop again over the weekend over the southern part, and then by Sunday, Monday, should experience again also a further drop over the central part. So a bit of break on Friday and on Thursday, but as you go into the weekend, again, that cold air then setting in again.
Odillo, what impact might such cold weather have on crops and wildlife, in the affected areas?
What happened is temperatures as they are dropping below 0 degrees Celsius in places, especially for the small stock, it can result in death or shock, as well as crops can also damage also as well the crops, because you call it black frost, and this might be an occurrence then during the winter period. So most of the time we give an advisory at least 3-4 days ahead that this is on our approach that we are spending this type of temperatures, and therefore we always encourage the farmers or in the affected areas to keep their stock, at least especially the small stock, in an enclosed environment, and for the nurseries and the ones with the crop farmers over the said regions, then we also encourage them at least to protect or to keep up a shelter where these crops cannot be damaged because of this severe coldness or temperature that goes below 0 degrees Celsius.
Any other advisories or warnings you'd like to leave us with this evening, Odillo, in effect due to this cold weather?
Oh yes, also for people who are like outside there, they should make sure that they are not exposed for very long hours outside there, especially when it's becoming very cold, because that can result also in for them to have some problems, because the coldness, if you keep for a long period of time, they can also result in some sickness, especially for human beings. And for the farmers, always listen to the radios or to the television, so are able to view the news, at least to be on listen to the advisories that comes out from the Namibia Meteorological Services. We always update our weather at least 3-4 days ahead. When we see any or any conditions that warrants a forecast of hazardous weather over the country.
Odillo, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us.
Very much welcome, and please keep warm.
Odillo Kgobetsi from the Windhoek Met Office confirming there for us that a cold front is definitely in the works right now. It may settle on Thursday, but during the weekend it is forecasted to come back. So yes, do keep warm.